Okay, so hi. Right, basically, after years of not doing anything with my YouTube account, I decided to do something useful. So hi, I'm Sgt Wood from 367 Squadron, South Sheffield. I'm being really cool and wearing my Squadron t-shirt, as you can see. And I just decided to do some tutorial videos. And basically, I hope it'll help any newcomers to cadets, or like sprogs when they first get the uniform. And I just hope it's going to help you guys just see basically how to do your uniform. I'm not saying I do it the best, but this is just how I do it, okay? So if anyone wants to correct me or say I'm doing something wrong or you like what I'm doing, post a comment below. Like I said, I'm kind of new to YouTube, so comments look great. Okay, I am going to start with my shirt. First of all, make sure you hang up your shirt every day, okay? This has just come out the wash, so it's not been hung up. It's pretty creased, as you can see. Right, so I'm going to turn on my iron. Probably should have done this before, but if your iron has heat settings like mine does, also it's better if it's a steam iron. You're going to get a sharper crease, but it doesn't really matter if it's not. If it's not, you can use like a damp towel and press it onto your shirt, and that way when you go over it with an iron it will create steam anyway. So as you can see, mine's pretty steamy. It's making a lot of steam there. And I've just turned it up to the highest setting for my shirt. Okay, so the highest heat. So we're just going to leave that for a minute to heat up. Right, the first thing you're going to do is the collar. So you want to lie this flat, like that, on your ironing board. Okay, so here we go with the collar. As you can see, I've laid it flat. And my iron is now heated up, so I'm just going to bring this round, and all you're doing is pressing the iron on. Okay, if you make sure it's flat the whole time while you're doing it, that will ensure that it will iron flat. Okay, so if you make there be no creases in it whilst you're ironing it, then obviously there's going to be no creases after you ironed it. So you can see that's really flat now, nice and flat, straight collar, which is what we want. Okay, so you always start with the collar. Okay, another thing I forgot to mention is I'm really sorry about the dodgy camera work. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just filming this on my digital camera. Okay. Right, the next thing I'm going to do is the crease on my sleeve. Right, as you know, this should be a really sharp, defined crease. So first of all, take your shirt, make sure it is in the centre of your epaulette. If you don't know what that is, this is an epaulette, where you would put rank slides on if you have them. Okay, so you're just going to take that crease and make sure it is in the centre. Okay, so just fold it if it's not already got a defined crease in it. So you just fold it along that line, and you should end up with a nice sleeve like this. Okay, so we're just going to place that flat against our ironing board. I'm just going to unbutton my sleeve. Okay, so we're going to place that flat against it, and we're just going to iron in that crease. Okay, I'm totally aware that my camera is not fitting the whole of my ironing board on here, so I'm just going to move down here a bit. Right, so we've laid that crease flat in the centre of our epaulette, and now we've just got to iron it down, like so. Okay, so be sure to press really hard. Don't be scared of breaking your shirt or something. As long as you don't leave the iron on one spot for too long, otherwise you burn a hole in it. That's not cool. Okay, just really press in on that crease, and you're just running it all the way up and down the length of your arm. Okay, and this will just make that crease really even, really sharp the whole way down. Okay, and then obviously once you've focused on the crease for a bit, you can just move down, working out any creases that shouldn't be there. And again, at the bottom of your sleeve, there should be a symmetrical crease to the top one. Okay, so we're just going to iron that flat as well. There we go. Okay. Next, be sure you iron on both sides of the shirt crease, because that way it'll just make it a lot sharper. And also, you don't want to iron the crease onto this side, because that would just look stupid. So you just want to make sure that both sides are nice and flat. And this will also make your crease a lot sharper if you go over each slide twice on each arm. Okay, so again, just getting where that crease was on the other sleeve, I'm just going to work it in. Okay, really press on it, which will make it a lot sharper. And there we go. Right, I'm just going to do the edge of my sleeve because it's falling off my board here. Okay, there we go. Right, so after we've done that, we should have one really defined crease. Okay, you can do both sleeves at the same time. Obviously it doesn't matter what order you do things on in your shirt. But then after that I would do the epaulette. So after having taken it off and you need to find the centre of it, so that can get really creased while you're trying to put that main crease in. All you would do with this is lay it flat on your ironing board like that and then just iron over it. I'll just do that quickly, you don't really need to see that close up. Okay, so if you iron that, it also prevents the end of the epaulette flicking up like that, which you see people, they have their epaulettes up here and it's kind of like, okay, you have like a ski slope going into your face. Okay, you don't want that, you want your whole epaulette to be flat, like that. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is, on the same side as the crease I've just made on the arm, which is now really nice and sharp, it looks like that. Okay, it's a really nice sharp crease there. Okay, I'm just going to lay it over my ironing board. Okay, so the side of the shirt now, and I'm just going to work on this to get rid of all the horrible creases in there, just to make the front of your shirt look really nice and smart and straight. Here we go again. Okay, here I've laid out the front of my shirt on the ironing board, and all I'm going to do is take the iron and press it on. Okay, so I'm just going to move this around the shirt until I see these creases disappear. I don't know how many of them you can see on that camera, but there are a lot in this shirt right now. So just keep going on it. You're still on maximum heat on your iron. Just keep going over these, and as long as you keep like tugging out your shirt to make sure it stays flat, you're not going to iron any more creases into it, which is really good and what we want. So make sure you get up here, make sure you get the pocket. Make sure there's nothing in your pocket. If you have something sticking out your pocket, when you go over it with the iron, that would make a nice little lump or a nice crease where that thing was. So make sure you've taken everything out of your pocket first. Okay, so I've just done this really quickly. Please take more time than I'm doing right now over your shirt. But as you can see, that is pretty much flat. It's not bad. Okay, I always have a hard time going around the buttons, but basically you've got to get this inner lining here, you've got to lay that flat, then turn it over, then iron over it. Okay, otherwise if you leave it folded like it is normally, you're going to end up with that coming across on the front, which you don't really want. So fold over that so it's nice and flat, then go over it. Okay, and you do that in and out of every button, which I can't be bothered to do, but you would. Sorry for rambling on. Okay, I'm just going to turn my shirt over now. So this is the back of the shirt. As you can see, okay, so straighten it all out because you're just going to iron that flat. Okay, so the back of the shirt as well is really important that it doesn't have any creases in that either. Okay, so just quickly going on the back. Like so. Okay. Once you've done that, it should be nice and flat. Don't touch it like I've done because I've just burnt my hand. Ouch. Okay. Turn it over again. This is still the back of the shirt. It's just moving it around the ironing board as you need to. Okay, so pull it out really tight, really flat. That way you'll make no new creases. Okay, and then again, all you're doing is pressing. The harder you press, basically, the more the iron's going to do its job, and you're going to get rid of those creases faster. Okay, so we go. Nice and smooth, and again, we're now on the other side, the other front of the shirt. Okay, with the button holes in it this time. And with this whole thing, you're just doing the same. You're ironing it flat. Pay particular attention to the buttons, the button holes, sorry, they're on the front. So these go in front of your buttons. So if these aren't straight, you can really tell. Okay, iron the rest of it out, nice and flat. Okay, again, go over your pocket, like so. Right, then we get to the other sleeve. Okay, I've shown you how to do this. It's exactly the same as the left sleeve, believe it or not. Okay, you just make sure it's flat in the center of your epaulette. There you go. Okay, and just flatten it along the ironing board. Okay, I'm doing this really quickly because I'm lazy. but you would take more time. You can go over this in both sides again just to get that crease really sharp. So I'm not going to do that right now, but you would do that normally. Okay, so you put it down. Okay, so all you would do now is just lay it down and like with the other sleeve, go over that crease, okay? You would obviously do both sides, which I'm not going to do right now. And then the only other thing we've got is this little epaulette up here. So we're just going to take that off and then flatten it down. Just making sure we don't get that ski jump shape again. Okay, so there we go, nice flat epaulette. And that is basically how you iron your shirt. Also, be sure afterwards you hang it up with a hanger, otherwise ironing it was pointless. Okay, so whenever you're keeping it, you're storing it, you're not wearing it, hang it up. Okay, hope this helps.